myself and I'm taking it home. I'm stepping it up to another level. Time moving faster than never before. They don't really know about honesty, but they don't really grow. Honestly, I cannot be stopped constantly. Constantly is a part of me. And I know it's coming my way. Yeah, cold out of stone. Stay out of my lane. Yeah, lights up my fire. Yeah, yeah. Flashy. I don't even write no more.
And him, yo,
God,
can't you
yeah.
come over?
I'm on my conscious shit commando. Yeah. Pulling up with clips extendo. There's no game Nintendo. I don't ever think I might have found my 10. Posted up in my 10. Watch your man go dumb, go stupid. If you're the best, then prove it. Got no words, be quiet, stay moving. I got a bag, won't lose it. Watch your man go dumb, go stupid. If you're the best, then prove it. Got no words, gets up to do it. Nigga, you're not recruited. Cause you're too damn scared to use it. The truth is, you're useless. What? I'm ruthless. Yeah, I prove this. Keep capping, I'ma leave you toothless. What? You're so dumb to choose us. Yeah, gone outside, I make it work. I'm in my bag, that's every purse. I got her first. You say you rap, you got a verse. I say the swag, you probably hurt. Back to the lab, you gotta search. On my conscious shit commando. Yeah, pulling up with clips extendo. There's no game Nintendo. I don't ever run out of ammo. I'm gon' need me a benzo. No fake friends, no pretend. Yo, think I might have found my 10. Posted up in my 10. Watch your man go dumb, go stupid. If you're the best, then prove it. Got no words, be quiet, stay moving. I got a bag, won't lose it. Watch your man go dumb, go stupid. If you're the best, then prove it. Got no words, be quiet, stay moving. I got a bag, won't lose it.
Why these boys so stupid? Counting me out, now I'm counting my money and probably gon' cop me a new wrist. Y'all gon' think I'm a nuisance. No style, know me who this. Yeah, bitch, I made some improvements. Me and the gang been bowling. Your shawty gon' think we the coolest. As they say, we got clips. We bout to make it a movie. I make a hit I can't miss. Damn, the charts might sue me. The way I be stacking my chips, stack it up, probably the bank gon' sue me. Watch your man go dumb, go stupid, cause your mans can't fool me.
Nintendo. I don't ever run out of ammo. I'm gon' need me a benzo. No fake friends, no pretend. Yo, think I might have found my 10. Posted up in my 10. Watch your man go dumb, go stupid. If you're the best, then prove it. Got no words, be quiet, stay moving. I got a bag, won't lose it. Watch your man go dumb, go stupid. If you're the best, then prove it. Got no words, be quiet, stay moving. I got a bag, won't lose it. Yeah. Hey, push start, hey, ball so hard, hey, raise the bar, hey, turn into a star, hey, play my part, yeah, I ain't too far, I do it big, I keep it large, okay, hard, yeah. I'm killing your favorite rappers, minimum effort. Yeah, your coach getting severed. The industry dries the desert. Do whatever it is that you think that you're doing, I'm doing it better. Straight up, will use this my ladder. Don't got no snakes, only ladders. Ay. They tryna figure out what's on our plate. Infinity sideways, we already ate. Skipping this basics, skipping this class, to stay out of trouble. Now I can relate. Nevertheless, again, I'm doing great. I just finished this thing, ain't no debate. You ain't my dog, you ain't my family, and sure as hell, you're not my mate. Yeah, I take my place at the summit. I can't wait till we counting them hundreds. I cannot lie, I ain't rich, yeah, but when I see my some coming, it's coming. And some of y'all got ahead of me, to be honest, I wasn't even running. Very soon I'm gonna run it. I demand it, man, I want it. Push start, ayy. Ball so hard, ayy. Raise the bar, ayy. Turn it into a star, ayy. Play my part, yeah. I ain't too far. I do it big. I keep it large, okay. Live it up. Cause it's fake, better give it up. Young, but I feel like I've seen enough. Numbers going up, better keep it up. Ain't slowing down, better live it up. About too hard, ayy. What about too hard, ayy? What about too hard, ayy? About too hard, ayy. They're not gon' like this. Don't like surprises. I cause a crisis. Man, I'm a scientist. With the music, I slice things up to my liking. Man, I want nice things, nice things. That's not an AK, it's an Uzi. I pull up and shoot it to movie. I'm chasing the bag, not a coochie. Contacts with the fake, now it's Gucci. Word in my name from the 0 to 1. You count 6 shots and I count 2 guns. Some people still think I rap just for fun, but soon they look up to me just like the sun. Yeah, you can come over here. Sweats like no career. Swear you got no idea. Soon you have no career. Take a good look in the mirror. They need to know that I'm here. Don't you act like it ain't clear. Yeah, push start, ayy. Ball so hard, ayy. Raise the bar, ayy. Turn it into a star, ayy. Play my part, yeah. I ain't too far. I do it big. I keep it large, okay. Live it up. Cause it's fake, better give it up. Young, but I feel like I've seen enough. Numbers going up, better keep it up. Ain't slowing down, better live it up. About too hard, ayy. What about too hard, ayy? What about too hard, ayy? About too hard.
These are those moments I don't think anybody else is going to forget.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the ESL Pro League. Welcome to our final day of the group stage tournament here for the North American Pro League action. I'm the Eternal J. I'm joined by Dweg for our B-Stream action. We're covering what arguably is the most important matchup of this particular stage of the tournament. Furia taking on Chaos Esports Club for what is basically a qualification match for Chaos. If they can take the win today, then they set themselves up with the best chance to hold onto that playoff spot. Dweg, it's going to be important for both teams, not just because Chaos are qualifying as well, but of course for Furia themselves, they're hunting for seeding in that top two.
Yeah, look, it's certainly going to be a nervous day for a lot of the teams, right? Because you've still got 5 teams, really, the top 3 of your EG, your Liquid, and your Furia that are already confirmed into getting that playoff spot, but they're all sort of fighting around to sort of see, right, can we get the top seeding? Can we sort of place ourselves in that first and second position? And then you're going down the sort of ladder a little bit more, and you look at 100 Thieves and Chaos, they've still got opportunities to make it into the playoffs. So it's going to be a very important day to really see how all of these teams face off, Jay. But the bottom line is, Chaos can make it, but they need a win here.
And they also need their opposition in 100 Thieves to also lose out in their matchup today, because they are all tied up in that middle of the table. Of course, it's virtually impossible for the other side team in Gen G to make it through. So it's mostly about Chaos winning and 100 Thieves losing their games. If they can do that, then Chaos can still usurp them. If they lose to Furia right now, then Furia, I believe at this point, they will maintain their top standing here on the Pro League ladder, and it will be a bit of a tough little task for Chaos to have anything to do here with the playoff position. Obviously, still hunting for that top 4 position as well for these guys. So, Chaos, it's going to be a tough road back from here, but it all starts in this position. And I kind of wanted to ask you, Dwayne, with the rivalry between these two teams constantly favouring Furia, what do you think the chances are of Chaos being able to pull this upset?
Yeah, look, they've got to be hungry. There's no doubt about it. We've seen a roster move recently coming in, still stepping down from the light-up, Marky coming in. This is his debut tournament. So, look, there's certainly going to be a fair bit of pressure on the likes of Marky and on the likes of this team to be able to perform in this matchup. But, look, for Chaos, you'd have to think that, they're surviving, basically. They're on for survival. So, look, I certainly think that we can have a really big matchup on our hands. Chaos have certainly had a really tough time against Furia in the past matches. Yeah, the last time we saw them face off against each other was sort of back in DreamHack, where we actually saw a win going the way of Chaos for the first time in all of the rivalry matches between these two sides.
Yeah, and that's obviously a big thing, obviously, because for that's the most recent result going the way of the Chaos Caps. So, for them, they're in a particularly good position to potentially repeat the results as of late. But for the Furious side, obviously they're the ones that have the majority of maps, majority of series going their way. To read out some statistics for you, Dwayne, they've had three best of 3 series in the past few months. 2 of which have gone the way of Furia. 1, of course, was the last one to Chaos. 5 maps to 3 going the way of the Furia camp. And of course, the main thing also to remember for the Chaos side is the fact that, listen, they've had some roster moves as of late. Their veteran IGL that led them to that victory in ESL 1 Cologne is now completely gone. I believe it's Vanity, if you mentioned in the pre-game before we went live, that he's picking up the IGL role for this side. Tell me how that's going to affect the dynamic here for Chaos.
Yeah, look, I've heard some really good things about Vanity. I know that the Aussie guys over in the B stream for the majority of Pro League have been able to cover Chaos a fair bit, and they've sort of been talking about the leading style of Vanity fitting into the world really nicely. He's an AWP player too, so maybe takes a little bit of pressure on his back to sort of picking up that in-game leader role. And I'll tell you what, I certainly think that adding Marky gives them an extra layer of firepower. Marky's been a big name in the sort of North American scene for quite some time, really sort of came onto the scene when he was on NRG, and we saw recently back on E United and ZPG. He's been waiting for that opportunity, and Chaos giving him the call up. It's a big chance to prove himself. And yeah, look, I tell you what, I'm actually really pleased that they were able to sort of move roles around rather than picking up an in-game leader, because like I've said, they've been able to pick up extra firepower.
Yeah, Marky is a very good player for me. I haven't seen much of him as of the last couple of years, but I remember him being back on the old the Gale Force Miami Flamingo sort of squads. Way back in 2017, 2018 or so, when they were competing in the South American qualifiers for WESG and such. So seeing him sort of step up to the fold, come out of that South American division and now into North America here, we're playing on some of the the mixed teams, the unsponsored squads, as well Patrols, the Pod Gods, United and such, and now here in the Chaos squad, it's a particularly powerful pickup that I think honestly could benefit them overall. I was a little bit concerned about Vanity coming into this one though, because I don't remember him being much of an IGL. So I realize that he's taking pressure off by doubling up with that AWP role and everything. But there must be a little bit of pressure onto this guy right now.
Yeah, look, I remember seeing an interview somewhere. I'm not sure if it was Chaos itself, but even when Still was the in-game leader, Vanity was sort of secondary calling. So when Still, and when they sort of obviously got a bit of an idea that he was going to step down, Still sort of gave the role over and sort of assisted to get Vanity into that in-game leader role. Now, one thing I'm really wondering what's going to happen, Jay, is on Twitter, I've seen a back and forward, a little bit of banter between the two sides. I've seen a lot of aimbots with PP Bisons and P90s and stuff like that. So I'm hoping, Jay, that we get to see this in the server because at least for the last week or so from Furia, we've seen a lot of the wacky weapons coming out from them.
Yeah, Furia are guaranteed to be in the top 3. For them, it's all about trying to make that top 2, so it's still an important match as we get started here on Nuke, our first map of the best of 3 series. It was picked by Chaos and for good reason. Both this map and the second one of Inferno were part of the 2-0 series that Chaos won during ESL 1 Cologne, so up to repeat history in perfect fashion as we go to their T side. Outside control coming in as Vanity has the utility set for him. They've got mostly Kevlar across the entire board. Julie's out for Vinny with a smoke in for him. Incendiary in a flashbang out for Art as Serato takes first contact with USP. Player up ahead will tap some damage and they'll do a little bit to Marky. Yuri will get returned to 14 points of health and they gain secret control. Vinny makes his way down in against Leaf. It's going to be Marky that draws first blood as Leaf plays the bait play and it's a 5-on-4 scenario. P2K out for one good headshot from Art. Marky will find that trade and the bomb plant could be secured.
So far, so good coming out of the Chaos side. They've still got the lurk coming out for Vanity, just trying to waste as much time as possible. Pull Henny out to make sure that he's not backing up his teammates out from Rat, because that's where the commitment's coming through in terms of the retake. Furia down a man advantage, already a couple players quite low, Yuri and Vanity in particular. And for Furia, they're running out of time, Jay. They need to get a move on into the site itself. Marky going to be able to at least clothesline one of the players towards ramp. You've already got a backstab coming out from Vanity, Yuri and Henny. It seems like it's all over at this point. 2 versus 2, Jay. They need to find these kills quickly.
Yeah, with no kit, and might not even have enough time to defuse, regardless of who they get these 2 frags. Marky will fall, Vanity on 4 points of health. When they try to take Yuri out of place, they can take some of that Kevlar and some of that investment out of the field here for the CT side, but it's going to be an opening pistol round in the favour of Chaos. They achieve mission critical here to open things up. The rifles coming in for the T side camp. Furia definitely up for a force buy here, and we've seen it many a good time out from this CT camp, and indeed the Swag 7 in for Vinny early on. I imagine the rest of the players will also buy the utility and upgrade pistols around him.
And we saw there from Chaos a lot of dry running outside, really didn't use too much utility. We saw a main smoke out from Vanity, but for Chaos it was all about getting very aggressive, getting that secret control very early into the round, and then using Vanity as the lurk to slow down the rotations. Furia, investment coming into round 2, and outside control coming out for Chaos once again. This time it's with the cross smokes.
Lil's in. Scout out for Art looking on, but no shots on for the T side. Just downstairs into the secret control, just very quickly position. AK's just jumping up here, checking down the stairs position, hoping for a frag or 2, but very passive from the Furious side. They're waiting for Chaos to break into the B site.
Chaos really slowed it down. We saw a lot of footsteps being heard outside. They weren't silent at all about going into secret, but once they've established this lower control, they've slowed it right down, maybe trying to see if they can play some mind games to Furia. We'll see Henny in towards dark position. Is he going to get mollied out of this position? They've used the molly, but it's out towards ramp instead.
Standing by, ready to receive. Marky and Leaf make their way on. Matt 10 and AK, double face jump over, and Henny could not get the frag for it. Secondary kill for Marky, trying to get landed onto R. Yuri will fall the Zephyr's hand, and it's a 5-on-3 with Furia already throwing in the towel, grabbing the head Kevlar Serato, the Scout and the Swag 7, and just saving them into the next round. They'll have a full eco to contest against here, so any damage they can do will just be fantastic. It'll be 2-0 to the Chaos board.
I actually really like that play coming out from Chaos to sort of clear out Dark. Now, a lot of the time when you're heading towards that lower bomb site, especially on gun rounds, Jay, you're going to have more utility, especially more Molotovs. They only had a single one. They used it out towards the ramp entrance. We see the dual peak coming out towards the air from both Marky and Leaf to be able to sort of have a bait and switch setup. I deal with Henny, and from there just open up the site itself after Yuri goes down. But Furia, not even considering the retake, going to hold on to these 3 weapons, hold on to these 3 players, bring those weapons into round 3. So far from Chaos, Jay, it's been a lot of outside control. I'm wondering when the change-up's going to come through, when we're going to see a little bit of ramp, maybe a vent dive, a little bit towards the upper bomb side, because they'll know there won't be many investments to buy up with these 3 weapons on the city side.
And the main focus of saving those weapons from the last one for Furia is to get a little bit of something back here into this 3rd round, because no investment, as you mentioned, therefore no real way in. Trying to do some damage, take these rifles out here with the Mag 7 and the Scout out, but not expecting much in the grand scale, I think, for Furia. Again, maybe if they can take these rifles out of their hands, force some reinvestment from Chaos and trying to limit the economy early on, and the T-side won't be able to flourish. But they're playing passive, realizing they saved something from the last round.
And Chaos. A little bit of early utility to that upper bomb side. You can feel as if Art wants to try and get aggressive out from Squeaky. Maybe a little bit worried that he's going to get punished. This is a fake outside commitment from Chaos, putting the cross smokes down just with a single blow. Back into the upper play, and straight away, Yuri just gets caught off in transition.
Good kill. Good start. Slow entries into the A site as Vanity does catch Vinny up in heaven. Queserato, the back line's dealt with by Leaf. Simple spray to the Mac 10. The money can get sustained here for the CTs. 2 versus 5. And again, Henny just looking to go passive, potentially get some exit frags, save this down into the next round. Furia be up for a good rifle blind in this one though, so standard 3-0 start for the Chaos side. And again, a good way to start here on T, trying to replicate the performance of their last series, which on Nuke was a victory for them, so all case of not losing too many rifles to the hands of Henny. He takes out one frag, and Leaf is hunting alongside John G around the corner, and John G will be the man to get the kill. 3-0 for Chaos, and again, Furia up for the M4s, may even get an AWP out.
And Nuke's been played a lot coming out from the Chaos side. I think they picked it 4 out of the 5 previous best of 3s that they've played in Pro League. They've had some up and down results. I think the most punishing one was probably against 100 Thieves, where they were only able to get 6 rounds. But look, all in all, Nuke's been a pretty stock standard pick coming out from the Chaos side. They've been able to get some pretty big victories recently, and certainly showing on the T side, really well drilled. They don't want to even upgrade the Galil and that Mac 10 up to 8Ks. They want to keep it a bit more as a bonus round. Early utility to this upper bomb site. Yuri taking a little bit of damage. In the end, about 30 points of damage done.
And for Fury, as John G around the corner against him, still getting that kill with the Mac 10 before he eventually does go down. Everyone's better to the corner. 3v3 is Queserato transfers his sprays back against Zeppa and Leaf. And now Mark is suddenly left alone with Henny in the AWP, locked on position, shuts him down, and Chaos do get ripped apart on the rush play. Still plenty of cash in the bank, so they can go for the rebuy here. But not the kind of result they would have wanted to out of the bonus round.
And that was pretty quick coming out from Chaos. And you've got to think, you know, when you've got a sort of Galil and a Mac 10, you want to try something at least a little bit aggressive. And that's what we saw from John G going really quick out from Squeak Door. But it sort of seemed there from at least Chaos's point of view, there was a lot of presence out from Squeak, and the hut entrance came out just a fraction later, which allowed Queserato to be able to transfer the spray. We spoke about the wacky weapons, Jay. The P90's out for Vinny.
Straight in, nades up, Yuri gets that frag on John G. Secures another opener here for the CT camp. Fast execute coming in from Chaos once again towards the A side play. AK's out, Zeppa moving in, Art with that frag. Henny gonna catch them as they're all looking towards the vent. Marky finds that one kill, and the nade back from Henny will get himself a tidy double. All left the Vanity in a 1-on-4. Quick execute from Chaos, and a quick shutdown from Furia.
And this is a couple of gun rounds in a row now that we've seen Furia really come out on top in that upper side defensive. And Vanity's been doing a bit of lurking so far on the T side. This could be a way back in. No one's got eyes up to the head of position. He gets away with a couple of kills. And now he needs to see if he can siphon off the main player. He knows where Art is. He doesn't quite know about V. Smoking off at least one position. He needs to focus up towards Squeaky. And it's not going to happen. Furia try and swing together as a unit and find that last kill. But I tell you what, Jay, that did get pretty expensive towards the end there.
Absolutely. Damage being done to the Furia side. All because no one checked heaven, no one kept their eyes on the one position that the lone T-side player was coming in from. Chaos do concede the second though, so the main concern for them, still going to be losing that round overall here. 3-2. Another force play coming in from the Chaos side as well, so they're heavy investing into these first couple of rounds. That's what you're trying to hold on to their early leaders and Crash stuff to come through to respond to it. Look at Art here with the AK. Tech 9 against him. He gets himself 1 and 2 transfers to the third man, but doesn't get away with the frag. Utility to respond regardless though. The outside sets up and the follow suits for the backup players. Allows Furia to transfer his spray back around. Get 3-all for Furia. What's a response coming out? Those last 3 rounds have looked so confident from the CT side.
Not only have they looked confident, Jay, but they've been quick in terms of early impact. Fury, you've got to think they've got momentum, they've got a lot of confidence, and for Chaos, they're thinking, right, we're struggling in these early sort of contact pieces. We're not trading out well enough. Art there just pushing through a smoke. There's just no flash, no nothing, and he gets away with so much. From there, there's just a massive wave of utility that comes through on the city side. 3 rounds in a row now coming out from Furia. Fast outside once again without the smokes, and it works out for a first kill.
Decent starts. Incendiary's up and P2K is in with the T side line, hoping to catch some players are getting aggressive, but the CTs are held pretty nicely over here for the moment. They're just sort of sitting back passive. Vanity. Yuri challenging around this corner here in the main area. Does not see the players as they make their way back out. The AWP Penny is going to be their main concern though as he's continuing the challenge forward, and Chaos eventually do back up here. Might look to exit out onto A, get a bomb plant easy.
No, they've got an M4, so they've got something. Unfortunately, the aim punch is really going to hurt them. No one's got Kevlar on this Chaos side, and that's really because it was just a light eco. A couple of upgraded P250, that's it. They get away with one more kill, that'd be fantastic. Yuri, been seen, bomb gets dropped, and he denies pretty much everything. And now Vanity, last one left, 1 on 4. Not going to happen. K-Serrado to deal with the last 4 in a row now for Furia. It's starting to get a little bit scary for Chaos, but we're going into a gun round.
That we are. AKs, Krieg, P90 and Vinny. ZWP for Henny, no AWP to respond here for the Chaos squad. Basic rifle set and ready, the flashes, the nades up, stand stuff on these default positions. Art getting some damage with very minimal starting for Furia. Chaos not going as high progressive as they have done in the last couple of rounds, so positions placed and nothing much coming through.
A lot of outside control, but for Chaos, it's a little bit more cross smokes going through. This time around, though, they're sort of waiting for over-aggression. We're certainly crashing through ramp and lobby too.
So much map control taken away from Chaos due to the fact of how passive they really went. Passiveness can work out when the aggression wasn't, but this is a bit too much here. Overcooking it for Chaos. Outside of the lobby, there's actually no map control being gained by these boys. They will smoke towards outside, try playing potentially over to the A split on for the first front, not to the player that crossed second. Leaf and Jonji can chime back in as a result. Yuri now holding defensive top of the hut position, ready to drop down.
He finding that first kill out from ramp, and all he needs to do, Jay, is just fall back. He peeks in again, tries to go for a little bit too much, and as soon as he tries work outside, he finds a couple of kills, pulls some distractions away. For Chaos, you're right, they had no map control. They were pretty much all outside towards the T-spot.
Art legged early for the CT camp. For a player on the outside control, but nothing's being given to him. Smokes down. P90 still. A minute and 10 to the clock here. Chaos are now going to make their way out towards ramp, where Vinny is the only player that's
ramp. It really has not been utilized at all from Chaos. Going in quickly to the absolutely huge. Finds 4 kills in the end, and for Chaos.
The rebuy from Chaos is going to look more like an eco than anything else. I mean, it is an eco. PT50 is for 3 individuals. Tech 9 would leave the only player with Kev ammo for the 4th round. A 3k in this next round, though. That's 6-4 for Furia. CT side is looking good.
And Chaos, for the most part, Jay, they got off to a great start. It was a 3-0 lead off the back of the pistol, but for the gun rounds, it seems like it's all Furia.
But the confidence level was just so strong here for Furia. Again, all you have to do is competitive coordinate utility around each other. The HE's landing perfectly. The outside presence that WP seeing contact on one man. Doesn't know that Marky's dropping.
He's got eyes towards events because he doesn't know that there's already someone in that position, but in the end, Alpha doesn't find anything, and nor does Vinny.
Zrata continues to swing. Doesn't catch the man there. Vanity in the back. And Art is spotted out by Zeppa in the end. Way in. He's behind hard cover. Someone from Chaos has got a peek coming in from Deacon. Zeppa does get there. And K-Serrata Last man left in a 1-on-3. It's such a fantastic...
Stronger defenses to that lower bomb side. Jonji gets 2 unanswered trades in terms of entries. Both Furia and Vinny just wide swinging out from double back into a 3-on-3 in the retake, but it wasn't enough. The swing out from Decontamination was fantastic because you saw there that Henny was just trying to stick that bomb with the kit.
Made out, hit at 51 HP already. He's gone aggressive several times to this outside position, but mostly so for AWP if Henny trying to see if he can try and respond towards this, but no trade potential is going to be given up towards him. Vinny with the SMG now ready against several, flashbang in, and they give him a bit of utility. A follow-up smoke will come through, by some cover. Vinny still spraying through, drawing their attention towards the ramp entrance as Jonji drops to Yuri. It's all left.
It's just pushing through the CT smoke. It's not really necessary coming out from the Chaos side, and for Vinny, he just tries to play around it. You can see the flashbang that tries to come out towards ramp to blind off any of the CTs, but Vinny takes the fight. He starts getting aggressive, and you think, okay, in a position like that, maybe
unbelievable. Again, Vinny with a dollar rush, potentially set up Case Serato to get trades. He's not there to hold it to get downstairs into the lower levels. Case Serato's going to try and follow them in here with the AK Art, and also going to make his way around here from the secret position. Back turn towards the likes of Zeppa. Vanity will leave the charge in towards the site itself. He's here to receive this 360. They actually overwhelm. Opening up to Econ, Marky with the AK shut down by Case Serato, and bomb dropped out in the open, making the task a lot more difficult for Leaf and Zeppa. A minute to go to the clock.
so far so good, but Case Serrano's going to drop that bomb. They'll find the follow-up, and in the end, Yuri's going to win the 1 versus 1. But that's a great round, and I tell you what, they win this gun round, they're pretty much resetting the economy line from Furia, so it's going to have follow-on effects.
No, absolutely. Okay, Serato gets downstairs to try and control from secret, but realizing that he might be in danger, might have to control the 1-for-1 trades.
Okay, Serato is outside control, and there really hasn't been too many times the Fury have tried to contest. They've given them a lot of map control to work with.
Have heard that footstep. Are they going to expect Heaven to be open? Well, the smoke down from Vinny will certainly confirm that probably going to be no CTs out there, but perfect flash in. Leaf drops. Jonji next to fall, and Vanity left to save.
Absolute textbook. They'd
in the yard. Okay, Serato back downstairs here at the double door, takes that 1 frag. They should end up with 10.
got that bomb so much better with it as well. Henny's going to be able to find the last kill. 10 to...
Keep seeing you. I know it's in